Hey there, adventurers! I'm Mary, and welcome to my first viewer speculation showcase. I'll be discussing my favorite theories submitted by viewers for 6.4 and beyond. So, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't finished patch 6.3 main scenario. Also, I want to thank everyone who posted their theories. I had a blast reading all your comments. Our first theory comes from Trisha Rachfal, who says, Golbez might not intentionally be gunning for the source, but the reason behind might be different. We know that he killed the 13's Watcher, and that he possesses an incredible amount of Aether, and considering his base is in Zodiark's hole, I think he absorbed the 13th shard of Zodiark. We've seen how absorbing another can influence your personality, and that lingering influence might be driving him to try to return to the source. I really like the idea that Golbez could be influenced by the beings he's absorbed. We saw this when Siriato consumed Farfarello and developed his traits and mannerisms, even feeling Farfarello's fear as his own. It could be what Golbez is referring to when he talks about an end to his suffering. Golbez definitely possesses a strong will and sense of self to be able to maintain control, but that doesn't mean it's been an easy task. There is, however, one thing. Yoshi P has stated, there were of course parts of Zodiark in other reflections, but at the same time his main body was destroyed. They also all would have faded into oblivion. Now, this could not include the 13th. We do see the hologram of Zodiark's imprisonment behind Golbez in his flashback. If Golbez absorbed it, did it cease being a shard of Zodiark when it was incorporated into his Aether? We don't know enough to make a judgment call, but it is fun to think about. Next is Chris Garcia, who says, Golbez is Pasturat. Perhaps he was warped beyond recognition, like what happened with Metron on the first. There's a cutscene at the end of 6.2 where Golbez is seen striking down the Watcher of the 13th moon. The Japanese dialogue says something to the effect of, how does it feel to be struck down by one of your own? This is a really cool one, and could explain why Golbez appeared out of seemingly nowhere. For those who don't remember, Metron was one of the Asians assigned to bring about a calamity on the first. His vessel was transformed into Eden upon being defeated by Ardbert. A similar process could have happened to Pasturat, with a darkness aspected outcome. Metron, however, was trapped inside Eden due to the nature of light-aspected Aether. It would be interesting to see something like Pasturat embracing the corruption of his vessel and becoming Golbez. /Shade says, what if the Goldsmith mentions are flavor text giving tribute to a dev who was responsible for making the minion models since A Realm Reborn? Honestly, this has an extremely high chance of being correct. There's already an instance in the flavor text referencing a real-life event. The wind-up Lakshmi minion tells the story of how the Wandering Minstrel, a character associated with Yoshi P, caused a redesign of the minion. Soken revealed in an interview that Lakshmi underwent a redesign at the behest of Yoshi P. Now, there isn't just one person who makes the minions. It's actually a group of devs from different departments. There's a bit of mystery surrounding this group that would be way too much to get into, but their identities aren't public knowledge. A shady character acting as an homage to this group kind of fits. Next up, we've got Insanitypepper, whose theory is, I've been thinking that it's entirely possible that Golbez is actually a sundered portion of an Asian that, like Fandaniel, didn't mix right when they attempted to restore his memories. if he had been a hero when the world fell and became corrupted by the infusion of Asian knowledge, that would explain a lot about his motivations thus far, and what Rubicante meant when he spoke of the desire all his own, and the virtue buried deep down. With the tie-in with Zeramis, I think you might be completely correct on the Pashtarat tie-in. This would make Golbez a very compelling and complex villain, especially if he's carrying the guilt of not being able to save the 13th from the Flood of Darkness. The fact that Golbez calls his plan a crusade, a holy war, may be him justifying actions he may have once considered evil. Again, we don't know enough about Golbez to be able to back this up, but I just really like it in a narrative sense. Which ties into our 5th theory from Hayden Dawson, who says, if I'm correct, Zemus in Final Fantasy IV wanted to destroy the world because he thought the Lunarians were the superior race, and he thought the coexistence with lesser beings was impossible. Out of hatred for the Sundering, could he be manipulating things to cause more shards to rejoin the source to bring the superior race back? Because of his hatred, Dynamis turns Zemus into Zeromus, and the Warrior of Light has to defeat him in 6.5. However, the big event that Yoshi P talks about will occur after defeating him. As in 6.4, we'll probably fight Golbez and find out that he's related to Zero in some way, because some think that she's the Cecil of Final Fantasy XIV. We do find out that Cecil and Golbez are related. The idea that Zero and Golbez are related somehow makes a lot of sense. Remember that Zero was thrown into the rift when the Flood of Darkness was unleashed. If Golbez was a hero at the time and saw his world destroyed and the presumptive death of a close relative, that's one heck of a motive. Also, you are correct about Zemus, and it really does mirror the motivation and mindset that drove the Asians. I love the idea of Zemus/Pashtarat being influenced by Dynamis. As a sundered Asian, he'd be much more susceptible to Dynamis, and it goes with Zeromus's Final Fantasy IV origins as the embodiment of hate. Again, thank you all so very much for your contributions. When I decided to give this video a shot, I settled on 5 theories to discuss, and you all made it very hard to choose just 5. Let me know in the comment section if you think this should be something we do every patch. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like to help out. I do reference videos and speculation for each major story patch, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, adventurers, remember, you matter, and may you ever walk in the light.